Welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Kush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. All right, everybody, welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. You got him, Dr. Kush. We are here tonight. Okay, let's all take a breath for a second. This is quiet time for me. We currently, at the bar, we are hosting a few people. We have some people. We have some very special people to us that are staying and... Oh, dang it. Kyle, turn the lanterns on, obviously. There we go. We have some very special people staying at the bar. The problem with having very special people staying at the bar is not everybody enjoys the exact same things that I enjoy. I myself love incredibly funky, off-putting, demonic, ransackled patchwork. I like rum with a lot of weird adjectives. I like it to taste like goat brains. I like it to taste like bat droppings. Turns out, not everybody likes that. So I had to think, what can I make everybody? So we are going a little bit out of my comfort zone tonight. We are attacking with 3 different, we're attacking our Summer of Punch problem with 3 different spirits that we don't use all the time. We are going to be attacking this with gin. Okay, fine. We use some gin. We're going to be going after this with some whiskey. In fact, we're going to be making a drink tonight with 2 different types of whiskey thrown into one. And we are going to be attacking my mortal enemy, the thing that almost killed me multiple times. I've lost friends to it. They didn't die or anything. They just drank enough of it and they got lost. It's this stuff called mezcal, or more specifically, the type of mezcal we're using tonight is called tequila. We are going to be going after 3 different punches using our formula that we have been learning all summer so far, and we are going to be making punches to show you how very simple it is once you follow this exact formula. Once you follow this formula to start making punches, you can make drinks for just about anybody. So that is the theory for today. So for all of you who tune into my show that for some reason don't enjoy rum, I don't know who you are. I don't know any of you. This is a rum show for the most part, but for those of you who don't only like the funkiest, stinkiest, cheesiest rum, then boy, do I have a great show for you. So stick around. Stick around and watch this. Stephanie Husband, winner of the 2024 Kush-Tucky Derby. We like heavy adjective rum. Absolutely, Stephanie Husband. Thanks for Dr. Kush for introducing it to us all. I don't know if, maybe don't call rum demonic. I'm pretty sure I called it demonic at some point. That was too much. The rest of them, though, worked. Patchwork rum, that's a good one. Let me say hello to our good friend Tiki Tom Hubbard. You guys are desperately trying to break into the bar. I have a fun solution for that for people that, for the big 30, really, and the Patreons. We are going to start allowing some early access to the show. It's not going to be that exciting. I'm going to turn the sound off, and you can watch me set the bar up. I feel like that'll be a fun little thing for you guys to do. I don't know. That's going to be sort of like a key. But Shawnee Pandabaker thinks that he found maybe the key. Oh, the key is not in the river. Don't worry, the key is not in the river. Let me say hello to our friend April DeBoy. April DeBoy is here. Let me just real quick. I'm going to do a quick scan. Oh, Scotty DeBoy's here too. We got both DeBoys. Love that. Here is our good friend Bootopia. Can I get me a cushion here? Absolutely. Plenty of cushions here. The Big 30 is here hanging out with you guys. Let me say hello to our good friend Moose. Moose is here. Moose is up and kicking. Hopefully Moose is got enough sleep. Hopefully this is not going to be a incredibly long show, but it could go deep in here. We've said hello to both the husbands, Stephanie husband and Michael. They are both here ready to go. I got my good friend Kyle Tender is here. People are pisting him. Psst. To Kyle. Let's see, who else do we have in the house right here? Oh, here we go. We got Bon Bon. Bon Bon is on her way to a concert. She will watch as best she can. Bon Bon, just you showing up, giving. If you think about Bon Bon, she's kind of like a spray. You put her into a place, even if she's just there for a minute, the essence of Bon Bon will be there. So, Bon Bon, you have fun at your concert, and we will see you when we can. Here is our good friend Jeremy Foote. Jeremy Foote, who, my goodness, Jeremy Foote has been with the show for quite some time. It took a little sabbatical and is back. Love that. DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Kush Tucky Derby, is here. Paulie B, Paul Bellinardo. These drinks look tasty. I think they look pretty good. These are just a few different versions of punches that I think you guys are going to dig. There is our producer, Jen, and how many in the live audience? Glenn wants to know. In the live audience, in the in-studio audience, we don't allow people in here. Oh, we got Jay Carter. Let me just give Jay Carter his music. 1 second. Jay Carter, Party Starter, is here. The UF Mark is here. Our resident Gator, David Virtue, Heyo, and I think that is everybody. Okay. When we think of punches, we often, unfortunately, the same way when we think of a daiquiri or we think of a martini, all of a sudden we start to put all these crazy extra flavors into them, flavors that shouldn't exist in them. We think of a martini, we sometimes think of an espresso martini. That has as much to do with a martini as an elephant and a handbag have in common. They both will carry your stuff, but one of them is very difficult to put in your passenger seat, right? I cannot believe I came up with that on the spot. I thought, can we hear a clap for that? Now I've derailed myself. Anyway, they are, of course, in the same category of things, but are not the same. Martinis and espresso martinis are not the same. Daiquiris and whatever the heck you are making whatever they're making in Las Vegas are not the same. Same thing with punches. We think about punches. We often think about things like Hawaiian punch, bright red, glowing orbs of flavor. That's not what we're doing. Punches are a very specific thing. 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, 4 of weak, and a little spice make it all nice. Obviously, there are some different versions of that, but the ones we're talking about here are that. So all 3 of the drinks we are making tonight are going to have that formula, but be using different types of liquor. So I don't really have an order for these. Jeremy Foote, when he thinks of martinis, thinks of James Bond for martinis. I think that's a good one. James Bond's famous martini, of course, the Vesper martini. I've been in many online fights about why it is shaken or stirred. Why do I pick those fights? I do not pick those fights. Those fights come to me for some reason. Okay, you know what? We're going to start over here with a drink that was created by a guy, well, at least written about for the first time by a guy named Charles H. Baker in his Gentleman's Companion. Charles H. Baker, I always think of Charles H. Baker as like an old dude, like a guy from the before times, from the way before. As the Earth was starting, as the Earth was beginning to cool, I feel like Charles H. Baker sort of came out from the ooze and started to create his Gentleman's Guide. Not true. He actually died in 1987. I was 5 when he died. There's a good chance that at one point I met Charles H. Baker. Anyway, Charles H. Baker wrote this great book about how to make drinks. The Gentleman's Companion is spectacular. In the 1930s, he created a cocktail, or at least he wrote about this cocktail that he had seen, that used this brand new spirit to the United States. We just hadn't heard much about it. And it was a spirit that was called what? Huh? Tequila. That is exactly right. We're going to get tequila out of the way because, as we all know, tequila and I like to fight each other. We like to wrestle each other into submission. This is a drink originally called the Mexican Firing Squad. You can see it now called the Firing Squad. It is a very simple cocktail. It is an incredible way to up your tequila game when you get sick of making things like palomas, you get sick of making things like margaritas, when you get sick of making things like shots. Trying to think of another tequila drink. Those are the big 3. Shots of tequila, margaritas, and palomas. When you get sick of those things, I think this one fits in very, very well. So the one stipulation I have is we need to use real grenadine. We have some real grenadine all made and ready. So we're going to make that. And this is for my tequila-loving sister-in-law. Her name is Heidi. Heidi will be coming in. At the end of each of these drinks, I'm going to be handing them to the person that I've made them for. They will give you a review of the cocktail. And then at the very end, I will have two very special guests come in here and give you a review of the whole show. So that's what we have going on. Let's start over here. We're going to reach for our tequila. Tequila we're using today is going to be this guy. Now, I have almost never upped my tequila game. This is pretty basic tequila, but it does do a couple things. One of those things is it says right on here that it is 100% puro de agave azul. Puro de agave azul. That means it is made of 100% pure blue Weber agave. That is an important bit to making tequila. Tequila, for some reason, is starting to be relaxed on its rules for what tequila is. So you can actually call some things tequila that are not made of 100% puro de agave. So what you want to look for, because they can't lie about this, it says 100% puro de agave. Beyond that, I need you guys to pick your own tequilas. This will never be a show where I am telling you all about the good tequilas. Sorry. We're going to go ahead and put into a drink called the Mexican Firing Squad 2 ounces of some tequila. Let's win our awards real quick. There we go. Perfect. And there we go. One day we will win a cinematography award on this show. For this shot alone, we will win it. It will be ours. I will bring in Oscar-winning cinematographers. I will bring in Emmy-winning cinematographers, and we're going to win this thing. But for right now, it's just me. You're making tequila. You want it to be a little sour. Obviously, we're doing a drink called the Punch. 1 of sour, 2 of sweet. I see every once in a while people will do a tequila and lemon. For some reason, that doesn't really catch on, but not everybody loves that. So we're going to go ahead and take our lime right here, and we're going to slice this right there. We're going to look here on the inside for this little thing. We're going to cut right around that. We're going to get all 5 of our pieces of lime, and then we're going to squeeze with our hands. We're going to squeeze with our hands as close to this as we can, because we want the oils on the outside. How many times am I going to tell you that? As many times as I squeeze a lime. Unfortunately, this is just going to be rote memorization for you guys. You guys are all going to learn all about squeezing with your hands. We need 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. And that's what we are going to put in there. That's about 3/4 of an ounce right there. We're going to save a little bit of that for a touch later. Now, if we were just making a sour drink, just a sour, we would be mostly there. We'd use just a little bit of sugar in here, just a little bit of sweet. Well, when Charles Baker was writing this book, simple syrup was, of course, being used. I think they might have called it sugar syrup. They might have called it cane syrup or rock sugar syrup, or they would have called it all kinds of things. Simple syrup is what it was. But another very, very popular drink sweetener, because it would give us some of these florals, is a thing called grenadine. Now, when we talk about grenadine, we are not talking about this atrocious, I will use the word demonic. This guy right here, this is called Rose's grenadine. This stuff is disgusting. Horrible. Let me just real quick. Let me say hello to Ella. Hello, Ella. Ella is out there watching. Let me also say hello to Kai Guy. Hello, Kai Guy. Hello, Ella and Kai. We like to, when we can, we like to greet our people. You guys will probably be hearing from them a little bit later. When we're talking about grenadine, what are we actually talking about? We're talking about something that is going to be a sweetener. So usually just some sugar, sometimes some molasses you can throw in there. We're just using sugar with some grenadine. A little bit of sugar, sometimes molasses, with some pomegranate. That is all grenadine is. So, of course, here at Dr. Chris's Exotic Drinks, we make our own grenadine. If you want to learn, let's just win our awards real quick. There we go. Oh, yeah. Just right there. Perfect. If you want to make your own grenadine, it is incredibly simple. It is just equal parts sugar and that wonderful pomegranate juice. If you want to add, you want to be a little spicy, a little fancy, a little that little finger in the air, you can add a little bit of orange flower water or a little bit of rose water, but not necessary. We need 3/4 of an ounce of some grenadine. Homemade. So if we think about how this works, 1 of sour, that is 1 part sour. That's the lime. 2 of sweet. Okay, listen to this. Hear me out. Pomegranate is sweet and sugar is sweet. Those are going to be your 2. We can sort of justify our way around making that absolutely a cocktail that is 1 of sour, 2 of sweet. But 3 of strong, tequila is in there. 4 of weak, that's when we shake, but there is one last bit, a little spice to make it all nice, and we're going to grab now. The Bitter Baron and the Bitter Baroness have not been around for some time, but their bottle I think does get used the most. This is Angostura bitters right here. We need 3 dashes of some Angostura bitters to give this the spice that we want in there. So 3 big dashes of Angostura bitters. How many dashes was that? Not 3. Certainly more than 3. But it is a small dasher bottle. We're going to shake this one. We are absolutely going to shake this one. Lots and lots of ice. Lots and lots of ice. Take this ice, put it right there. Lots and lots of ice. When we shake a cocktail, obviously back and forth, obviously up and down. There we go. There we go. Nice and easy. Obviously, Jeremy Foote is a man after my own heart. This is Roses is gross. We call it grosses around here. It is disgusting. It is bad, and it does contain red dye number 5 and red dye number 40, which is made of what? That's right, bugs and oil. Gross, disgusting. We're going to dirty dump this. When we say dirty dump, that does not mean we're going to go grab some soil, pour it in here, make the glass all dirty, and go from there. No, we're just going to take the ice that's already in here, the crushed ice, and we are going to slowly pour this in. There we go. Just a touch under the wash line. Why don't we add a bit more ice in here? Beautiful new pieces of ice. There we go. Look at that. That is a good-looking version of this already good-looking cocktail. We're going to throw this in here. We're going to grab our lime, and we just want to give this a lime circle, or a lime, I guess just a lime circle. Oh, we're not going to win any awards like that. There we go, right there. Take our lime circle here, throw it right there. We're going to take one of our straws here, drop this in. These straws were, of course, donated to us or gifted to us from our very good friend and resident bar spray, Bon Bon. This is it. This right here, a beautiful cocktail called the Mexican Firing Squad. It is a tequila punch. 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, 4 of weak, and a little spice to make it all nice. Sort of wraps this thing all up. This, of course, drink is not for me. This drink is for my sister-in-law. This is for Heidi. If Heidi wants to come on in here and give us a rundown of what she thinks of this one. I feel like a lot of times I drink the drinks, and maybe you guys don't agree with what I'm saying, but maybe you do. The bar looks huge, but just be careful as you're walking around, because if you knock this one, then I won't win any awards. So yeah, there we go. Under and over and through. Everybody, this is Heidi. Let's hear it for Heidi. Heidi won't hear the sounds I'm doing right now, but there we go. Do this. Do it one more time. There you go. Heidi, you won an award. This is You want an award? Yeah, speak right into this thing. So
Okay.
this is I have a big, loud, booming voice. So
Yes, you
talk
do.
loud.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Mexican firing squad for my tequila drinking.
Is it gonna kill me?
I mean, it might. You know what it's going to do? It's going to surround you, and it's going to give you an option. One way out.
Okay.
I don't know what that way is yet, but we're gonna hear it. Children are yelling hi. Well, actually, Jen Fiscum, your sister, is yelling hi, mom. But I think we know what that means. Okay.
I won't let them drink this.
No, I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. Oh, that's all right. Oh, we lost the lime wheel.
That's no more garnish.
Well, that's fine. Garnishes are garbage anyway. Okay, give that a taste.
It's actually, honestly, better than I thought it would be.
All right, I'll take that.
Because I'm not a huge fan of bitters.
Okay.
And I do love roses.
I know. I kind of figued you might.
I like it sweet. So for it being slightly sour, it's actually quite good.
Okay, I will take that. So you know what? We will make a roses version of it later tonight, and I will let you guys know what she thinks of the roses version versus the grenadine.
Yeah. I mean, I'll drink the rest of it, so that means it's good, right? Thumbs up.
We'll take it.
So
well done, Heidi. Well, I'm gonna give you more things. You can't hear what's going on, but
don't.
Just playing a few of these real quick, just so everybody. Again, Heidi has no idea; she can't hear any of this.
I'll just keep drinking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
You can hear a little bit of it. All right. Anyway, all right. That is that.
Right.
Heidi, good work.
Thank you.
High fives all around. Okay. High fives. We'll take high fives. Thank you, Heidi. Okay, Heidi. Yes. Scott Du Bois says that is a success. That is a success. We have one drink down, and how do we do it? Easy. We followed the pattern. All right. It is very simple to make these drinks go well, at least okay. You know, it's tough. You know, I have a lot to say about Roses. Roses has, of course, sweared that they will never, ever follow me. And if I ever have any kind of animal, they've threatened to. Never mind. Anyway, we are not, Roses and I do not get along super well. Oh, here we go. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Kyle. Kyle Tender is here. Appreciate you, pal. I forgot to make one of the ingredients. Anyway, so rack. Okay, let's get into the next one. Now, we do oftentimes use gin in our cocktails. We have, of course, already on this show made what I think is the most famous version of a gin punch that there is, but that does not mean that there is only one gin punch. In fact, this next drink we're going to make is a fairly famous gin punch, and I will tell you what the name of it is. The gin punch. This is just a drink that people have called the gin punch. Are there thousands of different ways that you can make the gin punch? There are thousands of ways that you can make the gin punch, but we're going to make an old version of the gin punch tonight, a wonderful version of this cocktail. We have sort of adjusted it to fit everybody's tastes. And the rest of it. So what you see written down below will be changed here in a minute. I'm noticing that I forgot to change it. But this is for one of our favorite people. This is for my producer and my wife. This is for Jen. Jen is a fan of gin. And so we're going to be making her a gin punch. We're going to see what she thinks of this cocktail. And we're going to go from there. Now, obviously, we're going to continue to follow our old way of making these things. 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, 4 of weak, and a little spice to make it all nice. So why don't we start over here by grabbing this guy. This, of course, is gin. Now, the original versions of this cocktail did not call for gin specifically. It called for something called Genever, which is where gin actually comes from. It means Genever means juniper, and it was a malt liquor. So it was made from malt, which is, you know, all kinds of big, thick, fat whiskeys are made from malt. It was not overly distilled to a neutral grain spirit like vodka is and like gin is before you add it. So it tasted a lot still like malt, and then it had juniper added all the way through it. We don't keep Geneva in this bar because it is gross. It is gross. There are some drinks you can use it in, but it's gross. So we've adjusted this a little bit. We're going to go ahead and take 2 ounces, excuse me, of some, or take 2 ounces of some London dry gin, or if you don't have London dry gin, Martin Miller's is just fine for that. So 2 ounces of some gin. There we go. That is 3 of strong. We're going to get our lemon right in here, and we're going to be putting in not a ton of lemon, just about a quarter of an ounce of some lemon. We're going to slice this right here. When you're cutting a lemon, don't cut it the way we cut a lime. We just want to cut it just like that. That should be enough for a quarter of an ounce. We're going to squeeze our lemon in here. There we go. Nice and easy. Quarter of an ounce. We're going to give it a touch more. There we go. Jen, try not to swallow any, if you could, try not to swallow any lemon seeds. That would make me really happy. There we go. Quarter of an ounce of lemon. We need to get, we're going to be putting in 2 different types of sweetener. Again, 2 types of sweetener. One of those types of sweetener is going to be an orange liqueur. What kind of orange liqueur are we using for this one? Any kind you want, really. I do think that it would be nice to bring in a brandied orange liqueur for this, something like a Glengala a Grand Gala. A Grand Gala might be really nice, or something like a Grand Marnier. A Grand, any of the Grands should work. We want to go ahead and put in half an ounce of some orange liqueur. There we go. That is one of our sweets. And then we're going to be putting in something that shows up in a lot of punches. And that doesn't mean that it's right. That also doesn't mean that it's wrong. But you need to get the right type of this stuff. This is pineapple juice. Try your very best to stay away from any of the sweetened pineapple juices. This is fresh squeezed pineapple juice. We are on a fresh squeezed pineapple juice tear right now. The original version of this drink called for 4 full ounces of pineapple juice. That seems like way too much. We're going to go ahead and put in 2 ounces of some pineapple juice. There we have it. Throw this back in. And oh, did I get the wrong top? I must have gotten the wrong top. What have I done? Is this interesting to anybody? There we go. Get that topped up right there. Okay. We got lemon. We got pineapple. So we have 1 of sour. That's the lemon. We have 2 of sweet. We have orange liqueur, and we have pineapple juice. We have 3 of strong. That is gin. 4 of weak is going to be also, some of the pineapple juice is going to be a little bit of weak, but also we're going to be shaking this. And a little spice to make it all nice. There are a couple of ways that you can spice this up. Now, we are actually going to be putting in 2 different types of spices in here. If you want, you can put in an allspice dram, or if you have it, and I think some of you now do after you saw it on this show, this is Dale DeGroff's Pimento Bitters. Very similar to allspice dram. It's big flavors, but you don't need tons of it. We're going to be putting in 2 dashes of some Dale DeGroff's Pimento Bitters. There we go. Now, this is something we haven't talked about on the show yet. One type of bitters that we don't use all that often on this show is, and I think this is kind of a fun way to add bittering to your cocktail. Has anybody ever had a Coca-Cola that they let sit out too long? It loses all of the bubbles, and then you taste it and you go, gosh, that's so sweet. Now it just tastes big and fat and sweet. That is because, of course, CO2 has some bitterness to it. It's tough to describe exactly the flavor of CO2. When you carbonate a drink, it gets some bitters in it, or it gets some bitter flavor to it, so that it rounds out all that big sugar. We are going to be putting bubbles into this one as a different version of the bittering agent. So not yet, because of course we do not want to shake this with any kind of bubbles in there, because it will explode. It will explode. So we're going to shake this first without any bubbles. Crack that open. Get one of these. Lots of big flavors in there already. We are going to, oh, you know what? We're going to put this one in this guy right here. This is, of course, our zombie glass. Jen likes the zombie glasses. We're going to pour a little bit of this in here. We want just a little bit of ice. Then we are going to strain this out. We don't want a ton of ice. Too much ice and we start to lose bubbles. And then we are going to add bubbles in the way of this. This right here is called Cook's, the world's okayest champagne. It is a champagne from California. How is that possible? I don't know. Champagne should be made in the Champagne region of France. However, it does use champagne grapes. So technically, this thing counts. We're going to pour just a little bit of champagne in here. A lot of old punches would have a ton of, would be mostly champagne. So this version of this is going to work out just fine. We're going to take our, any chance you fit, we're going to take our swizzle stick. We're just going to swizzle this up until we get all of that champagne mixed in. Obviously, the champagne bubbles want to go up. So the further down you can get them, the better. And there we go. This right here is a drink that I personally think our friend, my friend, very good, maybe perhaps my best friend and wife and producer, Jen, would enjoy. So this is a Jen drink. Throw a lime in there, why not? Give my wife the nice stuff. There we go. This is a gin punch. We again followed the recipe for a punch. 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, 4 of weak, and a little spice to make it all nice. We came up with this one. Jen, do you want to come in here and grab your drink? She must be on her way. She probably got to push past Kyle. I like to boil down Coca-Cola to make a fairly thick syrup if I need to use Coke. Yeah, honestly, I think that's a good way to do it, Loriander. First of all, hello, Loriander. If you want, you can go and watch my cola syrup recipe. I do have a video on how to make cola syrup. It is pretty fun. Scott DuBois has Liquid Alchemist brand grenadine. It's pretty good. Nothing like roses. That's good. Let's all just keep bashing roses. All right. This, everybody knows producer Jen, my wife Jen. Here she is. Yay! You can't hear what's going on, so we're just going to give you some sounds.
I can imagine.
It's a fruit cocktail in heavy syrup.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is. So this is a gin punch.
A gin punch?
No, we don't do puns about drinks.
I do.
This is a gin punch for Jen. Go ahead and give that a taste. There's champagne. I don't know if you watched the show at all.
My chat was taken over by 2 small rascals. So
sure,
I've been a little distracted.
Utopia says, whoa, Jen is a looker. There you go. Stephanie Husband says, yay, Jen. Look at that.
Oh, it's so refreshing. Mm. Yeah.
Somebody's going to clip that sound. Most likely me. It's going to sound.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's going to sound a lot like this. You can't hear it.
I can't hear it.
Yeah. But it's going to be hilarious. Yes. Loriander says now it is a Jen punch. All right. If Loriander wants to make that pun, I will allow Loriander since English. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
What do you like about it?
I like how cooling it is. It makes me feel like I am sitting next to a pool. And I also like that it's not very sweet. It's kind of just like, it's like the essence of happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Me too.
Okay. Jeremy Foote, is it crazy hot there in Cali? It is crazy hot. Espen says, hi, Jen. Amazing to finally see you behind the bar at last. UF Mark wants to know, but how does it smell?
Oh, let's see.
Get that nose in there.
Well, I'm smelling a lot of lime.
Yeah. The brute will help to dry it out. Yeah.
I'm smelling a lot of bubbles. It smells fantastic. Everything about this is amazing. This is a drink that was made for me, 100%.
Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Following the punch format, we are able to find all kinds of fun things. I do want to point out something. Now that you guys have seen me with other humans on the show, Jen has a normal sized head, and I have a bobblehead. We almost look like we are a different species at this point because her head is half the size of my head. If we start our chins at the same place, it's almost 2. Anyway, that's what I got for you. Enjoy that drink.
I will. I'm going to drink it down to the last little niblet.
You do that. Tell Kyle I'm very sorry that I did not make him a drink, but maybe one afterwards. I know that you two are still fighting.
He'll be chanting. Well,
I know.
Don't tell everyone we're fighting.
Sorry. Well,
we're getting along just fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Well, anyway, so Kyle and Jen, I guess, are getting along just fine, and that's important to all of us. Cool. All right, buddy. That was Jen, everybody. That was my wife, Jen. So if you guys are wondering who Jen is when we talk about Jen, that is Jen. She and Kyle sit outside the bar and make the rest of the show work. Okay. We got one more drink to go. I do not often gravitate towards cocktails that are whiskey based when we are talking about adding juices, etc., etc. I find that if I'm going to reach for a punch like cocktail or a sour type cocktail, I would always rather reach for rum. I feel like they do similar things. I prefer what rum does to a cocktail. I love whiskey sort of on its own or where it is very whiskey forward, etc., like that. But I have another person that is staying with us. His name is John. He is my brother-in-law, and he is a whiskey drinker. He is a whiskey drinker. The guy loves whiskey. And so I figured we would make a full-on whiskey punch. I was able to go through a bunch of old cocktail books that I own, and I found this one that I thought sounded really interesting. Now, I have zero clue who Uncle Tench is. Uncle Tench is not a person that I had ever heard of. So please don't ask me who Uncle Tench is. But this is a drink called Uncle Tench's Whiskey Punch, and it does follow the parts of a punch. So technically, they're not wrong in calling this a whiskey punch. We are going to be using 2 different types of whiskey. In the original version, it did call for 1 type of whiskey, 1 type of rum, but instead we are going to skip that. We're going to be using a dry whiskey, and then to sweeten it up, we're going to be using a sour mash whiskey in place of rum. We are looking for a nice balance between dry whiskey and sweet whiskey. So we're going to start our dry whiskey out here with this guy. This was a wonderful gift from our good friend Bon Bon. This is Frey Ranch. I believe this is coming out of Nevada. Fallon, Nevada. It's a straight bourbon. Trust me. This is a drier straight bourbon than we normally find in straight bourbons. Of course, bourbon is made of at least 51% corn. Sour mash, which we're going to use here in a second, really doesn't need to have any specific grain bill. What it does need to have is a sour starter, or we use parts of the last distillation to create the new one. We'll get into that in a second. We're going to start off here with either a dry bourbon, a drier bourbon, or a rye, and we need 1.5 ounces of some whiskey here. There we go. Kyle feels left out. Kyle does not remember, of course, that every time we make a drink, we hand it off to Kyle. So Kyle finally not getting all 3 drinks in the night. He feels left out because, of course, Kyle is what? Spoiled. Kyle is spoiled. And that's fine. It's okay to be spoiled, Kyle, but you know, you don't always get what you want. Next thing we're putting in here is going to be some of this. This is Old Number 7. Old Number 7. This is created for a guy named Jasper Daniels. Old Uncle Jack, Jasper Daniels. He is a he was a guy that made whiskey. He made a sour mash. Sour mash, what they do to make sour mash, how you get that specific sour mash taste, is they take some of the whiskey that they distilled before, throw it into the whiskey that they're going to start to distill, and that starts the distillation process. So you the same way that sourdough needs the last amount of dough in order to start the new dough, sour mash does the exact same thing. So if you are drinking any kind of Jack Daniel's Old Number 7, there is a chance that you are sipping on, in fact, there's a good chance that you're sipping on some whiskey that is hundreds and hundreds of years old, because it's been put in there and it's helped start all of the stuff. Now, of course, it's not aged for hundreds of years. It's probably aged for 2 years, but it's in the end, you're drinking some old whiskey. It is a little sweeter, so we need a half an ounce of some sour mash. All right. There is that. We need just a little bit of lemon juice. Just a little splash of lemon juice. We're looking again for about a 1/4 ounce of lemon juice. Throw that here off to the side. Squeeze our lemon. Not a ton of sour in this one. We're going to get 2 different types of sour. 2 different types of citrus. So we're going to look for about a 1/4 to a half ounce of lemon juice. And we're also going to be putting in just a little bit of orange juice. So this is an orange. We just need a bit of this orange juice. Just a squeeze is all that I asked for. Nobody knows that I'm doing a show right now. That's Glenn Cushman, everybody. That is Glenn Cushman. He is letting me know that he is not watching the show. Go ahead and squeeze that. Well, if he calls again, we'll answer it, and we will all shame him for calling me in the middle of the show. He knows not to do that. Splash of orange juice inside of that whole thing. Next thing we want to put in here is going to be our spice. A little spice to make this whole thing nice. The bit of spice we're putting in here is a very, very traditional type of spice. It is this guy right here. Now, what is that? That is tea. Tea. When we say spice from that old poem from the West Indies, we did a little spice, make it all nice. Normally, we were talking about something like tea. This is tea. We need 1 ounce of some brewed tea. It can be iced tea, it can be any type of tea that you want. There we go. 1 ounce of some tea. Perfect. Looking good. That tea is going to do 2 things. It's going to give us our spice and a little bit of our wheat. We're going to throw this in here. I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? Give me 1 second on the missing ingredients. Oh, of course. 1 of sour, 2 of sweet. Now, orange juice is going to be doing 2 things. It's going to be giving us... Orange juice is going to be doing 2 things. It's going to be giving us a little bit of our sweet and a little bit of our sour. We also want to put in just a little bit of some simple syrup. This is Demerara simple syrup, a great form of simple syrup. Just about a 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. Just a little bit. We already have our sweetener in the fact that we put in some sour mash. Put in just a little bit of simple syrup there. Make sure that your bar is completely full of stuff. Make sure that you can't sort of reach around and find anything. Lots and lots of ice. And there we go. And we are going to give this a, big fat shake. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Jeremy Foote is doing some research. Did a quick Google search. LOL. The only Uncle Teach or Tench I found was was a Tench Tiggleman. Tiggleman. An officer during the Revolutionary War, but doubt he made this drink. Don't doubt so hard there, Jeremy Foote. This is a very old punch. Punch has been around since before the Revolutionary War. So absolutely, this could have been Uncle Tench's, Tench Tiggleman could have been his punch. Do I know that for a fact? I, of course, do not. I, of course, do not. But is there a chance? There's always a chance. We had some tiny people over today. Tiny people. They were kids. And it turns out kids and I both have a wonderful appreciation for very clear ice. So we have used all the clear ice for tonight. But that's fine. I don't think John will mind. We're going to go ahead and pour in Uncle Tench's punch here. Right there, and we're just going to give him the last little vestiges of our ice right there. And we have it. This Uncle Tench's punch, whiskey punch, 2 different types of whiskey, one a little bit more dry, one a little bit more sweet. So we have that's our 3 of strong. The sweet punch is going to give us a little bit of our sweetener, as well as the orange juice and some of the sugar. We have the lemon juice that goes in here, as well as some of the orange, which is going to give us our 1 of sour plus a little bit more sugar. We can add and subtract sugar as we want. And of course, the most famous and probably the first way that we ever added any kind of spice into this is a little bit of tea. Okay, let's go ahead and we are calling. Kyle is calling for the spinner. We'll throw this on the spinner real quick. Let's just throw this on here. In fact, I do think that the spinner was a gift from Heidi and John. So this is.
Yippee!
Spins really slowly. Okay, there we go. It's been on the spinner. Okay, John, come and get your drink. John is making his way in here right now. This is a Debbie. Debbie makes it sound way more fun than it is. Yes, spin that bad boy. Yes, it has been spun. The drink now will taste better, I assume. Kyle, very excited about the spinner. Is punch originally invented to camouflage cheap booze for a big party? Punch, of course, was invented just because, cheap booze. This is John, everybody. Let's hear it for John.
Yippee! Yeah! Science, bitch! I'm in danger!
There we go. Hey, John, how are you?
Oh, great being here,
Good to see you, buddy. Always a pleasure, never a chore. It's always fun when John comes over because I do open up bottles of whiskey that I don't normally open up because John likes to drink them. Okay, now, John, are you normally a cocktail person?
Normally, I would say no. I'm a straight up whiskey kind of person.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there is an awful lot of whiskey in this. Yeah. And technically, whiskey is a type of tea.
I did not know that.
Well, I mean, technically what you're doing is you're taking grain, not spices and herbs and stuff like that, but you are sort of soaking them in water. You're making beer. Whiskey is more a distilled beer than it is, but beer is technically kind of a type of tea.
Okay.
And then we distill it. We get it down there. So it's not exactly, but you put a little of this in here. John also has a normal size head, and my head, it does seem like my head is twice the size of yours. I'm just now realizing
it's the beard. Your head's normal.
Yeah, and the hair doesn't help either. It is. I do everything I can to just make my head
totally normal.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make my head as large as possible. I don't know what's going on. People are asking, what is John's favorite whiskey?
Have to be Gentleman Jack.
Gentleman Jack. That's good. So sour mash. Love that. Yep. Loriander. John, a Sazerac drink. You ever had a Sazerac?
I have not.
Oh, John. We're going to have some Sazerac. Yep. Loriander, I will report back to you on whether or not John likes Sazeracs. Sazeracs, people say, was the very first cocktail.
So
it's a whiskey cocktail. It's got a little absinthe in it. I'll grab this. And why don't we do a little cheers to you, buddy?
Cheers, brother.
Let me know. Cheers to you, brother. Let me know what you think about this.
Well done. Well done. Very good, guys.
Yeah, I think that cocktail has probably been in production since we're finding out maybe the Civil War. I don't think there's been many Tenches.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
And not a common name. And I think Tom is making this with us. So Tom,
Oh, is that
let
right?
us
Oh,
know.
Tiki Tom is making.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tiki Tom. Let us know
Mhm.
what you think about this one.
Mhm.
I didn't see that, but these things go by so
Oh, yeah.
fast. Scotty Du Bois says Sazerac, one of his all-time favorites. Kyle says John was too strong for me. I don't understand exactly what that's all about.
Kyle went easy on me, folks. He's kind of large.
Sorry, did you guys try and fight?
We did.
Oh.
Right there at the door. It was ugly.
Well, cheers. Thank you for putting
Oh,
Kyle in his place. There we go.
this is going down quick.
It should. Yeah, it should
right.
get you there. Well, buddy, cheers to you. I'm glad that
Cheers.
we found a punch that you like.
It's great.
We will get that going. Okay, well, yeah, cheers, buddy. Always a pleasure, as we say, never a chore. I have two more guests, but they are not allowed to drink alcohol, so we cannot make them anything. But I do actually have something for them. If Kyle wouldn't mind sending in our Fasciola, I think that some Fasciola might do well for them. Fasciola, if we start to really think about it, is very much kind of like what's going on? Okay, Fasciola is very much kind of a type of Hawaiian punch. When we expand the term punch, sometimes we get into bright red, insane flavors and colors and tropicalness, tropical things like that. Yeah, just throw them right there. Anyway, Fasciola is going to be sort of like a Hawaiian punch. We're going to be drinking just a little bit with them, and we are going to get their. These are not only are they my niece and nephew, but they are also YouTube experts, and I'm going to see if I can't get a couple tips from them about exactly how we can make our YouTube show work a little better. So they are making their way in here right now. Tiki Tom Hubbard, probably going to make this one tomorrow. That's pretty good. Espen is looking for a mocktail for sober weekends. Yeah, I think if you go back and watch our Fasciola show, that would have been on the 17th, something like that. Watch that Fasciola and go like that. Okay, so right here I have this. This is of course our hibiscus and fruit drink, and here we go. These are my two YouTube experts. This is of course Ella, and this is Kai. Say hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Perfect. We'll turn this towards you a little bit. Yeah, look right at that camera so they can hear you. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and give you these little guys. You guys can drink right here with Uncle T at his bar. This is called Fasciola. What's that?
Pineapple.
There is some pineapple in here. There's a few other fun things in here.
The cup is a pineapple.
Yes, the cup is a pineapple. Can I show here? If you guys look right here, you can see right here, the cup is a pineapple. There you go. What are we looking for? Everything's good? Okay. Okay. So, guys, let me. I will pour myself a little bit of this as well. I think it's only fair that we all drink the same thing. There we go. This is something called Fasciola. Uncle T makes this from scratch. So you guys, I want to hear what you think about it, okay? So drink this and look right into the camera and tell me what you think.
Yummy.
There we go. That's a yummy.
It's a middle.
It's a middle? Okay, so we have a yummy and a middle. What, Ella, if I could change anything, what would you change? Look right into the camera and say, what would you change?
I don't know.
Does it need to be more sweet? Does it need to be more sour?
I don't know.
Does it need to have more pineapple?
I think less pineapple.
Less pineapple, really? But you like pineapple juice so much. Kai guys finished his.
Yummy.
All right, do you want just a little bit of pineapple? A little bit of pineapple juice?
Yeah.
Okay, so more pineapple there. Kai Guy, I'm going to give you a little bit of pineapple juice too. We have all this good pineapple juice. Kai Guy right there. A little bit of pineapple juice right there. And then while you guys are drinking this, you guys just watch the whole show. Tell Uncle T, look right into the camera, right up this way. Look right into the camera and tell Uncle T what you think of his show. Look right over there, right? Look at the producer. What do you think of the show?
I don't know.
You don't know?
10%.
10%? You have to be kidding me. 10% of what?
9%.
9%? That's less than 10%.
5%.
Guys, you're going lower. I need you to go higher. We need the views. Look at the camera and say 100%. Okay, all right. Well, you goofballs. All right, guys.
20%.
Okay, 20%. I'll take it. That's a low F, but we have finished it. Okay, guys, thank you so much to both of my niece and nephew, to my YouTube consultants. A wave goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. Yeah, listen. That is that. They're review bombing you. Oh, great. I don't have anything else. Okay. That's it, guys. We have finished the show. We are done. We are done. Those are punches that have nothing to do with rum. None of those drinks had any rum. I can't believe some of the Fashionola didn't get drank, but you never can tell. Some people just aren't going to like your cocktails. Some people are going to give you a 5%. What does that mean? We don't know. But what does it mean for you guys? It means that 100% I enjoy you guys being here. Let me get this back here. 100% I enjoy and depend. Well, now we've broken it. I depend on you guys to be here at Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. If you enjoy this show, remember that I have a Patreon and I have a Venmo and a PayPal right down there. That just keeps the lights on for the show. We are not making bajillions of dollars. We are not the Paul brothers. YouTube is a slog for us, but we do it because, of course, we love you guys. We love this community that we're building. So thank you so much. If you can help out that way, that's a great way. Remember, these classes will always remain free, but that's a great way to help. If you can't help out that way, another great way that you can help out is, of course, like, subscribe, share, and comments. Even just little comments. You know, I've been getting review bombed. I just learned this whole thing, review bombed, recently over on Instagram, because people do not care for the way that I make an old fashioned. For some reason, the moment anybody sees anybody making an old fashioned on the internet, they have hissy fits. They panic. They don't know what to do. So if you guys can start to leave me good reviews, that would be really helpful. That absolutely helps the show out. Just a quick like, hey, well done. That always works. And if you can't do that, the best thing you can do is show up. We do classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays here at Dr. Kush's Exotic Drink, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and usually lasting half an hour, except for on Saturdays, where we try our very best to do a full hour of cocktails and hanging out. And that's, I guess, what we say is eat. We're not going to do a Fernet Core tonight. I am the chef, and I know that there are hungry little reviewers that I cannot continue to get horrible reviews from them. So I have to get to cooking. So we're going to end the show right at an hour, but I appreciate you guys. Jeremy Foote, I enjoy you. Shani Panabaker, awesome guests, our awesome show with great guests. We are trying to get more and more guests as we can. A fun night, De Kush, says Stephanie Husband, winner of the 2024 Kush Kentucky Derby. She changed it to Dr. Kush, but I kind of like De Kush. That's what I got. Thank you guys so much for showing up. We're going to run these credits. Make sure that you watch the credits. The credits are the patrons of the show. If you'd like to be a patron, remember, right down in the comments is a link to patronage. As always, what do we say? The moment somebody offers us a drink.
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
And what do we say when the bill comes?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yippee! Oh, no!
gonna drive me crazy? How are you today?
Wow, wow.
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
Okay. Today's secret word is okay. What? What are you? What? Today's secret word is what? I'm having a party, and you're invited.
Goodbye.
My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.